onions. I don't wanna talk about nothing. I don't wanna think about nothing. Can you hear me crying? I said, can you hear me crying?
I have another one biting the dust. Lately been feeling I know who to trust. I come around me, we sizing them up. Call up the gang, they lining it up. Fading me, taping it up with the cut. I had a dream, I was ready for it. Lord told me, hey Dyllyn, you headed for it. Know my future been break up and overpouring. Know my demons, they been trying to overthrow it.
Yo, welcome back everybody. I have a new R&B artist review for you all. Her name is Tierra Whack. She's actually not really even an R&B artist from what I've been listening to from her. She's actually a rapper from Philadelphia and I love her. She's extremely creative. Well, I'm going to be touching on her latest EP called R&B ? It's like 3 songs, 9 minutes. She has her debut project was called Whack World. It's listed as an album, 15 songs, but they're like 15 minutes. There's a bunch of like just trials of like song ideas for her, and she just put them all together. And I loved it. She's extremely creative. I think she has a very bright future here. And so I just wanted to show her a little love on the channel, especially since it was an R&B project, you know. So we're gonna get right into it. It's only 3 songs. It's gonna be nice and short. So if you like what you see, be sure to hit that like and subscribe down below and comment your thoughts on Tierra Whack, or you can put any other artist you would like me to listen to. Y'all know the deal. I also have a question of the day. Who do you think the greatest R&B singer of the 2010s was? That is my question of the day. So with all that said, we're going to get into the first song called Heaven.
Favorite people. Heaven is all my favorite people. Heaven. I wanna go there. I wanna go there. And do a show there. I wanna go there. Everything you did for me, angels. Know you come eventually. Heaven is all my favorite people. Heaven. Open up those 7 gates. Angels. I just wanna see your face. Promise that you'll save a place. Angels.
Okay, that was Heaven by Tierra Whack. And honestly, for this one, I don't know if y'all took it. It's kind of like somber. Pretty much to me, it's talking about like she's kind of looking back on all the people she's lost in her life, and just wanting to be there. And if I'm remembering most of her songs correctly, I don't think he's ever really touched on the idea of like an afterlife or any type of religion. So this is like her first time potentially cluing us in on her belief system, which may or may not be important. I have no clue. I mean, I just like when an artist gives pieces of themselves in the music and just let you kind of get an idea of who they are and what they think. So this may be one of the times she does that for us. As for the production, it's not as much as she normally does on her album, but at the same time, if she's talking about something that's like serious to her and like kind of like makes her sad, you wouldn't necessarily correlate a sad time with a whole lot of production and a whole lot of bells and whistles on the beat and with her voice. But I do like the song. I mean, if I were to send y'all back to that Whack World EP, y'all would kind of notice that she's very chorus heavy. Like the verses themselves are like, they're cool. She has bars. It's not what I'm saying. It's just normally the chorus and just the beat is kind of what makes her special. And so I never really looked too much into her verses here. I mean, all she's talking about is people watching over her as she lives on this earth. All of her loved ones that have passed watching over her right now and things of that nature. But it's just like an ode to them, and I think she did a pretty good job here. I'm excited to see if we kind of lift off from here, or if the other 2 songs are going to be kind of in this same lane where she's kind of just going through some stuff that she just wanted to sing about to get through, you know. So track number 2 is going to be called Cutting Onions. So let's get into it.
Like that, I was cutting up onions. I don't wanna talk about nothing. I don't wanna think ever good. Would've left with him if you could. I was selfish, I misunderstood. I was dumb, I should've understood. Grandma died, I was cutting up onions. I said, can you hear me crying for you? I can't help but think I should've gone. More than I did, but I stopped. When we still drinking through a straw. See, I be getting big, so tall. I can still knock down on you. But the kids love you, you a star. I said, can you hear me crying for you?
And that was Cutting Onions, song number 2 by Tierra Whack. And this is what I normally mean by, or this is what I normally expect from Tierra Whack. Like, the chorus was hot to me. I love that chorus. Honestly, just listening to it, not listening to the words, like just listening to how it sounds, I don't think I would have guessed it would have been about what it was about. Cause I don't know, her chorus is just snap. Like, to me, the beat was working, everything worked well together. But for the actual content of the song, it's kind of like just I'm going to say memorial to her grandmother, who passed, who may have been one of those people she was speaking about in the Heaven song. Just like the chorus talking about the grandma dying and how she dealt with it, saying she didn't want to talk or think about anything, and talking about her crying. Then the first verse opens up talking about continues to talk about how she was dealing with her grandma dying, whether that be going to therapy, like not having a happy birthday, the constant like oversleeping she was doing, and things of that nature. She even mentions like her being young and taking her death, her grandmother's death, as like kind of like, why would she do this to me? Like, as if her grandmother had a choice to go. And then she also even has the presence of mind to realize that everything kind of changed for her grandmother whenever her grandfather died. She calls him Pop Pop. And so that was kind of like, well, she knows her grandmother kind of slipping away right after that happened. Then it gets back into the chorus. Song number 2 was just talking verse number 2, sorry. Verse number 2 is talking about how their current family, the one that's still alive, is doing, and how everyone's kind of moved past. It's kind of like she's updating her grandma on everybody else's life. And so just telling them how they've all been and what they've been up to and how they've moved on in spite of the tragedy of losing their grandmother. It's actually a pretty personal song, and it snaps. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I love Tierra Whack. Like, she's creative as hell. Everything she does for me tends to work. Like, I didn't expect it when I found her. She was like, I didn't know who she was. I saw somebody co-sign her and then listened to her, and she's been crazy after. And I've been in love ever since. In the intro, she says it's March 13th, and that kind of pricked my ears up because that's my brother's birthday. So I was like, ooh, March 13th. Then she says her grandmother's birthday is next month, so her grandmother's birthday is April 13th. But yeah, I loved it. I thought it was a good idea for her to make a song about her grandmother and everything she meant to her. I think she did her justice here. So applause to her. Tierra Whack, don't miss. So we're going to move on to track number 3 called Sorry. And the last time I heard a song titled Sorry, it was by Black, and that was my favorite song on that album. So I have high hopes for this. So let's get into Sorry.
You the only one that know I'm free. I've been on your head with a speak. Got me crying tears by the creek. Sorry if I made you feel sorry. I know you don't like to be sorry. Sorry if I called you out your name. But you had to put me on some game. I don't wanna lose you to the game. You know it be hard to manage fame. Really, I'm sick cause I'm the blame. Should've never went against the grain. I ain't got much to really gain. If I lose you now, I'll be ashamed. Sorry, this ain't nothing new. We been going through. This ain't nothing new, we been going through stuff. Sorry, this ain't nothing new, we been going through.
Alrighty. That was Sorry by Tierra Whack. And So I guess I'm kind of realizing why she's calling the whole project R&B, because typically it's about like normal R&B topics, kind of like sadder topics, death and the grieving process, and then just I guess a breakup or a fight in a relationship. So typical R&B topics, I guess why she called it that. This one, it seems to be about her losing her man or woman. I'm not sure about her sexual orientation. So her person, I will say her person, and her just wanting her to come, her just wanting that other person to come back, and trying to apologize for everything she did wrong, and that brought them to that point. Um, I think this would probably be my least favorite out of the three, simply because the other two seemed a little more like genuine. Not to say this one wasn't, but like you could feel the emotion in the other one. You could feel the like the verses and the way she sang them kind of gave you a lot more personality, and like you could feel that those were actually affecting her. And as for this one, you can do it, but it doesn't, like, I don't know, it's just not, it's not at the same level in my opinion. As for the wordplay, like her rhyme scheme in this was extreme, like the most simple rhyme scheme I've ever seen, like in a song that actually works. Like for the most part, it's just the whole chorus ends on the same like it. All right, so rhyme scheme typically works A, B, B, C, C, D, D. Like each letter corresponds with a similar ending, like wrong and wrongs, or like the simple rhymes like weak and deep. Like those are simple rhymes. You know what I mean? But she literally did every chorus or every verse with just that same A to the A, and then the next verse one is B B B B B B B. Then chorus it goes back to A, repeat, and then verse two is C C C, and verse three is D D D. Like it's extremely simple. And you normally don't see that in rap, so it makes it kind of unique for her to do it like this, because normally I can't think of what the normal rhyme scheme for rap is, but what she did here, it was so simple. I found it actually kind of cool, because it normally doesn't work, because it's like, oh, that's, whenever someone normally does this, it's like, oh, they can't rap, they don't know what they're doing. But it works here. I think she did a good job, and although the way she flowed sounded like a rapper named Aha Gazelle, I think it is, or Oz Gazelle, or something like that. I don't really remember. It's someone I've listened to occasionally, and then one of those songs he raps in the same type, not the rhyme scheme, but like the way the flow is similar. So yeah. As for the whole three, I think I'm saving the first two for sure. It still makes me excited for Tierra to release a full-length project. Like I know she has a lot of singles. She has that Whack World album, which is 15 songs, 15 minutes. Like she has a lot of stuff out. She has there's a whole catalog out, but I want an actual like album from her to see her put together, like how she does putting together like a bunch of songs and how they all work together, like into drive a common theme. You know what I mean? So yeah. Either way, heart still goes out to Tierra Whack. She's great. I'm sorry for the loss of those close family members, but I think she did a great job channeling it. And so y'all keep y'all's eye out for Philadelphia's new / up and coming. I guess she's not really up and coming anymore, but one of their hottest rappers out. I think she's better than Meek Mill, but that's just me. Anyways, that's all I have for y'all. So y'all be easy. Hit that like and subscribe down below. Comment on your opinions on Tierra Whack, and whatever the question of the day was. Ooh, what was it? You think the greatest R&B singer of the 2010s was? So yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace.